Hey everyone, hope you are well. Although startups have provided all of us with a lot of financial growth in a very short amount of time, startups have provided us with a lot of knowledge which would otherwise take much longer in a mature company operating in a mature and declining industry. I also believe startups in general are good for the nation and they do provide a boost to the economy by developing talent and products and services which harness innovation. Additionally, the traditional definition of talent, at least for new age companies, is no longer restricted to IITs and IIMs, and now anyone, provided she having the right attitude and aptitude, can aim high without the added advantage of a fancy college degree, without spending tens of lakhs. Although startups with their added benefits have a dark reality which most of us fail to see, because we live in a world which is full of narcissism, cobwebs of lies and social media PR which hardly ever paints the correct picture. In this video, I would like to discuss a few points which I hope might serve as an eye-opener to all of you. Point number one: most of the startups that we see around does not add any value to anyone's lives. They are either in a declining industry or in an industry which has a lot of intense competition, with the startup in question adding no further value with their products and services. It is either funded by rich friends and family or rich but foolish investors who just want to throw money around. Such startups might make some money when we are in a bull cycle and might lose all the money when we are in a bear cycle. Point number two: most of the startups that we see around are loss-making startups. Now, startups by their very definition can be loss-making, but that does not concern me. What worries me is that these startups have no plans of making money as well. Most of the times, the founders and investors are only playing a valuation game, at the end of which, either through an IPO or through a private sell-off, only the founders would make a ton of money at the cost of loss of livelihood of retail investors like you and I. Now, I am not saying this is not a fair game, at least legally it is, although morally or ethically is a different conundrum altogether. But we as professional aspirants must be able to recognize such companies. Point number three: most of the ESOP plans, variable plans and bonuses given by startups are a sham. You have no idea on what is the current valuation of the company, who arrived at that valuation, how is that valuation arrived, and no company will share you any financial or fundamental data to support that valuation. So writing, let's say, 10 lakhs worth of ESOPs in your offer letter does not mean anything. It is nonsense with no logical reasoning whatsoever. A few do make money out of ESOPs, but do yourself a favor and do some research on what percentage of people do get ESOPs. Out of these people, what percentage of people are able to encash them? Out of these, in lieu of salary, which was not given to you since the last 4 years, take into account a very nominal EPF, tax-free growth rate of 10%, and see if in comparison to you getting ESOPs, and even if they are vested, are you still making money? Maybe some of you will make money, but I would be surprised if this number even comes out to be 1%. Point number 4. Most of the startups are lying to you about their company culture. All those social media posts that you see by their founders and new employees with their welcome kits and existing employees having fancy dinner parties at 5-star hotels is a sham. It is social media PR stunt and nothing else. Most of the posts that you see by founders giving you business gyan that they pulled out a bunny from a rabbit hole is absolutely nonsense. I would advise you to not be fooled by all these things and do a thorough research on the growth potential of the industry. The company within that industry compared with its competitors. Don't believe the culture shown on social media. Look at how many layoffs in the past the company has done. Look at few LinkedIn profiles of past employees, connect with them and learn from their experience. Look at how these companies and founders treated their employees during bad times. Although this is not a complete list, but if we sincerely work and address the points that we just discussed, we might be able to reduce the volatility and uncertainty in our professional life. Thanks everyone. Have a nice day ahead.